Hey everybody, Ephrom Joe here, and welcome to another commentary. Tonight's commentary is going to be on Ed Ray, in his newest video, Conservative Commentaries. Atheism destroys morals. Let's watch.
Hello everyone, this is EdRay1416 here with another conservative commentary.
As opposed to all those liberal commentaries.
Today's commentary is on Answers Insanities. Atheist lives are less pointless.
Actually, it's Answers and Insanity, not Answers Insanity, but I'm nitpicking.
That's implying that atheist lives were pointless to begin with. Today's avatar is Sergeant Robert Barone of Everybody Loves Raymond.
But no one loves Raymond. At least I don't love Raymond. I also don't really like Everybody Loves Raymond, but that's just me.
Let's see what Answers Insanity has to say on the subject in question.
You are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. And for me, as a good Irish Catholic boy, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
First problem with this presentation. The screen of this interview is upside down. Why is the screen upside down?
Why does it really matter all that much?
If this was for entertainment value, that's not how you entertain an audience. The problem with atheists are that they do not believe in anything but realism.
Okay, number one, what does that have to do with anything? Number two, how dare we believe in things that are real?
While realism should be an important part of our lives, we also have to have something of faith to give us an edge in life.
Yeah, we need edges in life. We can't believe in any of this real stuff. Wait.
I'll explain more as the video progresses.
Wait a minute. By saying that atheists only believe in realism, aren't you just saying God is not real? Am I the one who's noticing that?
This is one of those long-running issues that religious people have versus atheists, where it's like, well, if you're an atheist, then you believe there's no point in life. It's so backwards. I don't even know how these people can't understand. I mean, it's like so backwards. It's like as obvious as the sky is blue that what they're saying makes no sense, but they keep saying it anyway. The thinking goes that if you're an atheist, you believe there's no point to life because when you die, that's it. There's nothing else. Wouldn't that mean there's more point to life, actually, because you think that this is the only life you have? Isn't it actually more pointless? That this life is more pointless if you're a Christian and you believe there's an afterlife? Because what is the point of this, living now, if you're just going to live forever after you die?
Alright, let me explain something here. God put man on the earth to serve his will.
I'm going to disprove atheism by using the Bible as a source, because atheists are known for liking the Bible.
God's will was for people to worship him, have a relationship with God so their lives were complete. But then sin came into the picture and God set up a foundation. For the lost people living in sin, God gives people a mission to help rescue souls so God would work inside the individual spiritually to inspire them. You atheists may think that the Bible is a magical book with zero realism.
Well, maybe if it wasn't, we wouldn't have that problem.
But if you put your egos inside and actually read certain verses of the Bible, it teaches morals.
Anything can... I could make that argument towards anything. I could say Barney the dinosaur is real, because it teaches morals.
When God created death on humans, we were given a specific time here. That means during our limited time on earth, not only do we have to listen to what God says, but we also have to teach people about God and how God makes our lives better. So there really is a point to life for Christians, but they need to be mindful and honor their commitments. There was no need to make an arbitrary assumption like that.
Wait, where was the assumption?
Let me address the teammate part first. I'm sure your teammate assumed you were part of a religion because most people who, when they start talking about God and everything, are part of a religion, so I think that's a pretty safe assumption to make. Like, I hate when religious people will say, well, how do you know I'm part of a religion? Because you're talking about God and your love of Jesus and shit? Maybe that's why? Gee, I don't know. I guess I'm smarter than you, and I can figure out why somebody else would think you're a member of a religion when you're talking about all the religion stuff and things. So what is the point of your life if there is a God or there isn't? It seems to me that either way, you make your own point to your life. I mean, so basically, we don't know if there's a God or not, but whether there is or not, you still go about your daily life doing whatever you do.
Here's the thing. If a person believes that Jesus is their Lord and Savior, they have standards to uphold.
And atheists, they don't have any standards. You see, we're just like, oh, we don't have any standards. We'll do anything. You know, Even if it's a... Wait a minute. No, that's not true. A lot of atheists are law-abiding citizens, meaning they do have some standards. In fact, don't they have standards of gravity and physics to abide by too?
They have more responsibilities and they are trying to be moral.
And sometimes failing, okay? But even then, Edray, or Borg, or whatever you want to go by, you do realize morality is subjective, right?
You want an example of what Christians have to uphold? Here it is. Galatians 6:5. Every man shall bear his own burden.
That's basically be guilty about... Well, that's basically just saying feel guilt. Guilt is a human emotion. It has nothing to do with religion.
2 Timothy 4:12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. These are 3 out of thousands of examples that Christians must live by. If Christians don't do that, they are going to be guilty because the Bible is a code of honor to Christians.
And basic morality is a code of honor to atheists. Now give me your point.
As for atheists doing what they want to do, of course they have the freedom to do so. And when things go sour in their lives, they'll blame anyone, including Christians, rather than take responsibility and ask Jesus to save them.
Okay, that's how it works. See, if you're going to take responsibility, you need to ask someone else to save you.
You can perceive what I'm saying as threatening hell or anything else, but the lesson you need to take into account is that whether you are religious or not, something will happen that will test you.
There's still no point. The point...
Yeah, sometimes you'll be handed out an exam and it will have all these questions and you gotta know the answers to them.
and purpose of your life is still whatever you make it, whether he exists or not. So it seems to me, either way, you make your own point to your life. I'd hate to think that everybody that's stuck flipping burgers for the rest of their life, that was their God-given purpose. If you think you're nothing now because you will end when you die, then that's really your own fault, isn't it? I mean, fucking do something with your life. The amount of arrogance I see from people who claim the entire universe was made for us and that can't fathom the idea that someday they won't be alive is just completely astounding.
Atheists choose to believe the you only live one life theory because generations of atheists believe that when you die, your time is over forever.
Yeah, we got that.
If you read scriptures regarding death, you should know that God realized how weak the flesh was when Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden.
You would realize this creature that you don't believe exists did this thing that he could only do if he actually existed. Wait a minute.
And because of this, God gave us a choice. The choice is either live for Him, worship Him, and love Him, or go our own way. Because of that,
Become MGTOWs or HIGTOWs? I don't know.
our flesh became mortal, and when our time is up, we either go into the dirt or get burned and scattered into the air. Whether we serve God or not, our physical bodies fail us. But if you ask Jesus to come into your life, your spirit will not fail you. Your spirit will dwell with God if you truly believe that Jesus is the Lord and Savior and your spirit is sealed until the day of redemption.
So let's assume for a moment
I'm planning on my day of redemption to be the 20th, personally. But that's just me.
that the atheists are right. Let's just say that there is no God, and that therefore, when people die, that's it. There's no point. There was no point to their life. There's no point to their life afterwards. So basically, if you subscribe to that belief that if there was no God, that our lives are completely pointless, what you were saying then is that Da Vinci's life meant nothing. Picasso, nothing. Let's list any other famous person. Thomas Edison, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Napoleon, Shakespeare. Yeah, their lives were pointless, weren't they? Their lives were completely pointless. So pointless that hundreds of years later, we are still reading Shakespeare. Hundreds of years later, we have electricity and light bulbs and phones and all the other shit that we have because of the lives of these inventors who lived hundreds of years ago, who invented shit that started an industrial and technological revolution that completely changed the entire planet. But if there was no God, that means their lives were pointless. Do you see how fucking ridiculous that is?
As ridiculous as it may sound, yes, you also have forgotten the people that are Christians that also shaped the face of world history.
No, he didn't. He was including them. He said that he felt these people's lives weren't pointless, even though he was an atheist. Not these people are atheists who live pointless lives.
Francis Collins, a DNA specialist and a leader of the Human Genome Project. Galileo, a pioneer in astronomy that relied on God's word to discover the work
and was nearly censored, and I believe he was put in permanent house arrest for the rest of his life because of Christianity, but okay. I'm muting this, by the way, because the thing is, Ed Ray, or Borg, or whatever he's going by, doesn't realize it doesn't disprove anything, because Andrews in Insanity was saying these people's lives weren't pointless, even though he was an atheist. Not these people were atheists. My God, is he still going?
being atheist, it could be argued that Washington and Franklin actually talked about God and acknowledged them in their lives as the reason why.
Okay, he still doesn't get it. I mean, how could someone miss a point this badly?
There is a point to life, and I think that all of those people that I listed made very good use of their lives. They did amazing things, created amazing things. They've been remembered for hundreds of years after their deaths because of what they did with their life. So how pointless is that? How pointless is it that your name could be remembered 1,000 years from now because of what you do now? See, as an atheist, I am completely fine with the fact that I'm going to die someday. And I'm also completely fine with the fact that I've done pretty much fuck all with my life. And after I die, nobody's going to know who the fuck I am. Unless I finally get that amazing iPhone app created that I've been trying to do, and blows up. I create the next big thing that like changes the face of everything, and I get my name up there like another Steve Jobs or something. Steve Jobs, there's another one. 100 years from now, people are still going to read about Steve Jobs in some kind of history book about technology. Same thing with Bill Gates. So you're telling me that their lives are pointless?
Actually, Steve Jobs was considered a Zen Buddhist that often debated whether he believed.
He's still not getting this.
You should realize that religion does not always revolve around God. It can revolve around Buddha, the official religion of Japan and China.
Isn't the definition of a religion the worship of a god or higher power?
Hindu, the official religion of India, etc. The examples you are showing are easily up for debate.
Now, I would say that anybody who goes to work, and I'm not trying to belittle anyone who works in a fast food place or a Walmart or anything like that, because trust me, the job I do for full-time, I scan medical documents at a company. It's fucking pointless. Monkeys could do the same job, seriously. Like, it's boring as fucking shit, it's repetitive, and it doesn't pay that well, and it makes me feel like a piece of crap every day, that this is what I'm doing with my life. I scan papers into a computer every day. Yay. So my life, judging by that, is pointless. After work, there's things that I create, and I make these YouTube videos, and I bitch about shit, and I play my Xbox, and I play some PC games, and I have a 3D printer that I make stuff on. So I make the point of my life doing all the little shit, like little creative shit that I like to do, and drawing and stuff, creating art. That's my point. But as far as some kind of ultimate point to my life, if this is all I keep doing until I die, nobody's going to know who the fuck I am. Nobody's going to remember me except for my family. And I'm fine with that. It's Christians and any religious people that believe in this afterlife where they're just so terrified that when they die, nobody's going to know who I am because I'm so humble and I can't be forgotten. Like, why are you so terrified of dying and nobody knowing who you are anymore? Why does it bother you so much?
The same logic can be applied to atheists too.
What?
You are getting on our cases for generalizing atheism, but here you are generalizing Christianity.
When did he talk about generalizations? What are you talking about?
Listen, whether you are an atheist, Buddhist, Hinduist, or Christian, every religion, or in your case, non-religion, wants to do something to be remembered by and to have their legacy solidified.
The religions don't want anything. The people in the religions do.
With world history books. Some people, regardless of religion, want to...
Except for Answers in Insanity, who's just said he didn't care whether or not he was remembered when he died.
...be remembered for something. Most of the time, people don't care because the generations after you are going to repeat the same process. So this argument is pointless.
I don't know, it just seems like, you guys like to make it sound like atheists are so angry and we're so hateful and we're such miserable people. I wouldn't say I'm that miserable, but I'm completely accepting of reality that I'm going to die and that's it. I could die next week and that's not going to change anything I'm doing right now. And if I die next week, then I'm just going to be remembered for a few years as that loser that worked at the medical company scanning documents. And I don't care. I don't understand why this shit bothers you guys so much. Like, get over yourselves.
Take your own advice. If you want to better your life, start taking initiatives and stop putting Christians down in general. And I'm
Okay, I guess
ending the video here because I do not want to repeat any arguments that I had earlier. The problem with atheism
you already have, but okay.
is that they try to use their level of intelligence to convey a message about why Christians gripe about the things more than atheists. Unfortunately, they start acting like they have a superiority complex.
Okay, the atheists are mean argument is a really bad argument. Mainly because that doesn't address the theory of there not being a God. It just says the people who believe that are kind of mean. So?
Allow me to tell you something. Christians and atheists are in the same boat. Both struggle to find themselves. Both try to live decent lives. Christians will adhere to God while atheists will go about their day.
Okay, so tolerate people. I get it. What was the point of this video exactly? Also, hearing about tolerance from Borg Productions is kind of funny. Just Google any of the stuff Borg Productions has said about, well, anyone, and you'll have some fun.
Don't go generalizing a group of religious people just because they want to make an impact before they die. If atheists can do so, Christians can do so as well. Anyway, I'm Ed Ray, and I'm out of here.
And that's the way it isn't. The way it is, though, is something we'll find out another day. I think I'm dead inside. And I don't know if I am outside, though. Overall, Borg's video here just wasn't all that good. It followed the typical religious traps that are personally traps that I would recommend any Christian trying to debate atheism doesn't fall into.